morning, all you mentees, and welcome to another episode of Reelz Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, my lovely co-host, the uncanny Omar.
Thank you so much, Phil Owens. Hit that like button and send Will Ferrell standees. Nope, you don't have to do that. Wonder who's to blame for being late this time? I can guarantee you that one of us is to blame, but I'm too much of a gentleman to say any names. So,
yes,
much of a gentleman. Guess the KFC moving from Kentucky to Texas hit y'all hard. What are you talking about?
Wait, the headquarters? Wait, what?
What kind of news is that, man? Are you serious?
Oh no!
Oh no! Whatever will Amanda do? She hasn't eaten a KFC in like 20 years, probably.
Oh, not KFC. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, my camera.
Oh gosh, I forgot to text you and be like, "Hey, don't forget to test your equipment."
Well, I actually went and I went to like the About Chrome section and it updated the browser and relaunched it. So maybe, just maybe, we're gonna be fine tonight. Because I've never have done that before. So there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, right. First time for everything, everybody. All right. We got lots to talk about. We got exciting things planned. What are we doing, Amanda?
We got Cobra Kai season 6 finale to talk about. We have the first season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus. And then, of course, Omar and I want to just briefly talk about the SNL 50th anniversary special that came out on Sunday. That was fantastic just because we are both fans of SNL at one point in time or the other. I'm not saying that right now because I know Omar doesn't watch it at the moment, but I know
I'm watching Reelz Talk with your friendly co-host. No, your lovely co-host, me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I ain't got time to watch SNL right now, but I did for a time, and then I came back for a little bit. So yeah, from time to time, it is nice to go back and revisit SNL. Yeah. All right, what are we talking about first? So people can know?
Well, Robbie.
You're not old, though.
I see Robbie and Hawk, and so I think.
Oh, you want to talk about Cobra Kai first? Okay.
Talk about Cobra Kai first.
100% spoilers. There we go. Just in case you're chiming in now.
Yes, good idea. Yes, good idea.
By the way, I did see the Gorge because my buddy Bruce told me to watch it.
Yeah, what'd you think about it?
Well, I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't watched it. I was expecting a different type of movie, and what I got was equally just as entertaining. Like I was expecting, I don't want to spoil what's in the Gorge or anything. I was expecting something else to be in the Gorge. I was expecting it to that's a spoiler. Hold on, let me reword that. I was expecting it to end a certain way just because I'm used to these type of movies, but no, it was solid. I dug it. I thought it was excellent. I love the chemistry between both of the leads. I love the story between them both. I like her story. I like his story. I was satisfied, even though I was mad at first with the ending. Then I was like, nah, that can actually work. So yeah, dug it without going into spoilers. I really like it. It's on Apple Plus, Apple TV, whatever it's called.
Apple TV Plus. Yeah, highly recommend. It was a good watch for sure.
All right, Cobra Kai final season. It's come such a long way from the era of YouTube. Believe it or not, Cobra Kai shared the same channel that you're on right now. Like, yeah, we were on the same streaming platform.
At one time.
So weird. YouTube Red, right?
Yeah, YouTube Red did not last long.
2 seasons. Because I remember I got YouTube Red for season 1, and I'm like, well, that's it for me. Then I renewed it for season 2. And then Netflix got it. What rating would I give the Gorge? It was a lot of fun, man. I really liked it. I think probably an 8 out of 10. It's one that I want to watch again.
That's solid. I would give it an 8 out of 10 too.
You were expecting, hold on a second. I want the Gorge on 4K, but doubtful it will ever happen. Right? Why? I'm surprised it didn't go in the theaters. It went straight to streaming, which is just crazy.
I wonder why Apple didn't want to try to give it a limited release of some kind, because clearly it's an Apple product.
Yeah, and it was the predecessor of YouTube Premium. Absolutely it was. And thank you, Bruce, for the super chat. Thank you for telling me to stop what I was doing and watch the Gorge, by the way, because I forgot it was there. I know Amanda texted me going, "Hey, the Gorge is on Apple Plus," but then like, I don't know. I probably would have gotten distracted by the OJ trial documentary or something stupid that I was like watching and shouldn't have been watching. So I'm glad that
Tito one.
And big happy birthday to you, Maya.
Yes, happy birthday, Maya.
You were gonna be here, so I was just gonna do this. Happy bad birthday to you. Sing it.
Yeah.
Take it away, Amanda. Sing it.
Happy birthday.
Wow, worth it. Wow. The pause, the drama. Make time for the Gorge, but not the proposal. All day, every day. Yeah. Apple doesn't really put much on theatrical run on their movies. Didn't they do one for what's his the Tom Hanks movie where he was older and I think he lived by himself? He was like an angry old man.
I know what you're talking about.
Whatever his name was, I can't remember. You're all talking to the Barbarian, so I guess the Gorge will be this weekend. Oh, did you like the Barbarian, Doug? I loved it. Also, last night, Absolute Mr. Miracle is back in stock on IST. Thank you so much, buddy. And everyone's wishing Maya happy birthday. Oh, that's good, Maya. Happy birthday, buddy. Cousin. Whatever. All right. Cobra Kai. Final season.
Yes.
Wait. So epic, it was split into 3 parts. That's how epic it was.
Did we talk about the first 2 parts?
We have not talked about Cobra Kai. Not really. Not the first 2 parts. Mm-mm.
Okay. Mm-mm. So season 6, the final season, really takes place mostly with the Sekai Takai. Is that?
Your Japanese is very good. It is very good.
This is a worldwide championship. Brings all the best dojos. And, throughout the season, there is a lot of back and forth between who's in what dojo. And Otori ends up fighting for Cobra Kai because her mom unexpectedly passes away. And, of course, Kreese has always kind of been a weird father figure for her. And so she ends up, going to him and, she leaves because she's with Miyagi-Do and she ends up leaving.
Well, to be fair, it's like this entire show has been
back and forth.
I'm leaving. I'm back. I'm leaving. I'm good again. I'm back. I'm bad. I'm in the middle. We're going to make our own. Like, it's just, my brother was texting me. He's like, because he binge watched the entire show. And he's like, I can't keep up with these characters. Like, every season they keep bouncing back and forth. And I'm like, yeah, you get caught in the drama, man. It's all good. Apple,
but it works out.
Argyle.
Yeah, that was not smart.
Theaters. That was the one with the
Henry Cavill,
man, right? Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, that was not it looked funny, but it was like not funny. It was
a 7.5 out of 10 for Cobra Kai season 6 part 1. Thank you, James and Omar. A 7 out of 10. What the hell was wrong with me? What did it do? Anyway,
you do. I remember because.
Can I ask a question about y'all's shelves? I think I have the same shelves as you, Amanda. Do you notice your omnibus is putting bends on the shelves? You have the IKEA Kayla, or no? You have the IKEA Billy back there.
Yes, I have 2 Billies. Yeah.
I never finished Argyle.
A little bit of bend, not as much as like my Walmart shelves did.
Bowing.
Yeah, bowing. Not as much as my Walmart shelves.
I got to replace 3 of my shelves. I'm actually getting wooden shelves, like custom wooden shelves to replace these 3. Hope everyone's having a great day, Kentucky families. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Warren, how are you? Fellow Kentuckian. Hopefully you're snowed in tomorrow. Hopefully everybody's staying warm. That's true. It is a little chilly here in the state of Kentucky.
It is.
So, yeah, the second or the beginning of the first season of the last season, they were like, okay, we're going to enter the tournament. And then they go to Spain. And then there was a death at the end of season 6, part 2, which led to this, which there was a little bit of a time jump. And, they thought the tournament was over because there was a death.
It was the champion for Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
He was accidentally killed, unalived, during a brawl that did not need to happen, by the way, but whatever. Yeah.
Right. But that's what led us here. And here we are where they get invited back now because it is happening. And
well, only if all of the dojos agree. And so the problem is
Daniel
is Danielson, and he's holding out. So he is dealing with.
You're a birthday today, Warren? Right?
Oh,
well, the dude, happy birthday. Oh, you hate birthdays. Never mind.
Go after
yourself.
Wait, that'll go.
Just kidding, Warren.
Just forget.
Thank you, Bruce. Bruce is keeping warm as well. Yeah, just have a normal day then, Warren.
Have a normal day.
Normal day. Okay.
But yeah, Danny. So Danny's holding out because he is dealing with, like, I think the revelation that Mr. Miyagi killed a guy, because that's what they found out.
They were dragging that plot.
That last part over a rare piece of jewelry, and then also seeing some kid die like right in front of him at that tournament, I think took a lot out of Daniel. So he doesn't want any part of the tournament. He even like wants all of the bonsai trees. They don't want it. He's like, we're not giving those out anymore at the car dealership. We're not doing any of that. No karate, nothing. Like, he's like just going through it. And his sister, who I was like, was she in the other season? Because I don't remember her.
I don't think she was, because even Johnny was like, I never forget a LaRusso.
I know. Was she in the original? I don't remember either.
No, she was not in the original. There was no sister. She was like retcon in.
Okay. Well, I guess he needed someone besides Amanda to talk about it. So his sister's the one who, well, everyone notices something's going on with him, right? So of course.
No, James, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right?
Cobra Kai sounds like a teenage soap opera. Oh, no. It's excellent though. It's excellent. Like, I legit love it. I know it sounds like a soap opera, and you kind of need it to keep the new audience in. But if you like the original, it's, oh my God, it's one of the most respectful and beautiful love letters I've ever seen to a franchise. Like, I wish other reboots, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of things that just kind of spit in the name of the originals, like Coming to America too, or things like, oh my God, even in a way, a little bit of Beverly Hills Cop 4, whenever they bring back a franchise, it just seems like nobody cares. They're just in it to kind of cash in. There was some care in here. Yeah, continuation, I think. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, right? Like, it's continuing the story without rebooting it. I think it was done really great. I really dig it. It's freaking awesome. Red Dawn with Thor, that was a horrible. I didn't even finish that movie, too.
Yeah.
The only thing that was missing was Hillary. You know what? I was okay without her. That's fine.
I was okay without her or anyone else. Because I think what everyone's storylines, and I want to talk about which one was our favorite storyline throughout the series. When we get to that part. But yeah, so he holds out, but eventually, he talks to Amanda, and then Silver comes back. Terry Silver comes back out of hiding, and because he has is it the Iron Dragons? Is that his team with that Zara girl and that hot, weird, blonde-haired, like, German guy? Alex, is that his name?
The hot, weird
Axel.
Are you talking about the kid or the
kid? Axel. Yeah.
Of course, you're talking about the kid when you're talking about somebody hot. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, so Terry Silvers, wants this to go on, even though Miyagi-Do's holding out. So what he does is he kind of like pseudo kidnaps Johnny by like making Johnny take him out for a car ride, because Johnny now works for the LaRusso car dealership. And he basically is like, Johnny, you need to convince, Danny to go back in the tournament. And he's like, I don't know if I can do that. And so he's like, well, let's get a meeting with the two of us. So, of course, Johnny does that. And eventually Daniel agrees to resume the tournament. And at the same time, Cobra Kai is dealing with the fallout of the death of their champion. And is it Sun Young? Is that the daughter's name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So of the master for Cobra Kai, she, he ends up pretty much kicking Kreese out, and Kreese is telling her, you should make this dojo your own. Like your father, I think he's starting to realize the error of his way, the error of what Cobra Kai stood for. And then she kills her dad. Yeah, she kills her dad. Okay. She's gonna do her.
No, it was her grandfather, wasn't it?
Grandfather, yeah, grandfather.
How old is this guy?
He could be old, and doesn't matter how old he is. I mean, Robert De Niro has a baby.
Okay, okay. Never mind.
Right. Okay. Anyway, so they decide to resume the tournament, and the only thing missing is, Cobra Kai. They have to get their champions back. Tori is the female champion, but of course, she's like, every time I put this gi on, something bad happens. She's like, I can't. A drama follows me. I'm done with Kreese. I'm done with everything. I'm done with being part of his schemes. But Sam LaRusso is able to convince Tori to fight they start working out together, and Sam's like, I want you to help me, be better so that we can, best each other, and someone can beat Zara from the Iron Dragon dojo. And so they're dealing with their stuff. And of course, Johnny is dealing with home life. He wants to get married to Miguel's mom. She's about to have this baby. And so he has his own little side story of just, he wants to do right by his family, but he misses having his own dojo. He misses Cobra Kai. And all that is very relevant for what happens towards the end, right? So you have all that happening. And Miguel, of course, is trying to get into Stanford. And Robbie doesn't know what he's going to do without karate. And Robbie is their champion for Miyagi-Do. So he's like, he needs to practice. And then Hawk and I forget the other kid's name. Who's the other kid who hangs out with them? The other smart kid.
Dimitri?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it?
No, I mean it's Hawk and Dimitri. Is that what you're talking about? Like,
yeah, those two kids. Yeah, those kids. Yeah.
Okay.
So they have a fun little video VR virtual reality thing.
That was the worst part, I think, maybe about the entire show. Like, if you're thinking like, the term jumping the shark, that was definitely jumping the shark. It's like, what? 100%. It was so stupid. It made no sense, but sure. It was, and honestly, the rest was great, but
it was awesome. So they show up to the Sekai Takai, which they've agreed to hold in the valley. Right? Because Silver's like, Silver says, I'm going to be by the book. I'm going to do everything legit. We can even do it in your turf. You pick the judges, all that stuff. Awesome. And so they're holding it in the valley. Tori does show up. She's the only person there from Cobra Kai because, again, the rest of them are back in Japan with Sun Yung, and Kreese has left, but he does come back to make amends. So we have some great scenes of him, reaching out to Tori. And then there's an awesome couple of scenes where he reaches out to Johnny, and Johnny pretty much, cries out to him like, you were,
that was
my awesome father figure, man. And you just threw me away like I was trash. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Both Johnny and Kreese in that scene were just great, man. Because Kreese is just such an unlikable character. He does everything wrong. And this is the one time like he was actually trying to connect with Johnny and apologizing. Yes. And you're expecting a double cross, right? Until you get to the final episode, or is it the second to the final episode, which is the boat scene, right? With him in the fight against Terry Silver. And also, I mean, a freaking killer, right? Because he murders him. Not only him, but also what's his name from Danny from the Karate Kid 3.
He does. He was
his bodyguard, Terry Silver's bodyguard, which I never understood that because Terry Silver's the one that trained him. Anyway, so you were saying?
No. So the Sekai Takai, ends up being held, and Tori they have the male fight. So Robbie fights the Axel, which is the champion from Iron Dragon. And this guy is ruthless, and he ends up doing a move that basically breaks Robbie's knee. And so they realize like he can't go back out there and he can't fight. So in order for Axel not to be named the champion, they need another male to fight. Now, of course, Cobra Kai can replace their champion that was killed, but right now the only Cobra Kai is Tori. There's no head of the dojo, there's no sensei there, no one. And so because of Kreese, like what does he end up doing? Johnny ends up taking back over the Cobra Kai dojo, and they bring Miguel. So everyone's back where they started, essentially. And then Sam decides to resign and not fight. And all of Miyagi-Do is like, we're just going to finish out the competition, leave it up to Johnny and now Miguel and Tori to fight Axel and Zara, Terry Silver's Iron Dragons, which was like their best reveal. Like when you knew it was going to happen, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God. Because I really didn't like how I felt. Like I thought this was Miguel's story, right? So in the first part of season 6, when like Robbie was getting all, I was like, this isn't how I envisioned this going, because Miguel was the kid, was the dork, right? Robbie, I thought his story was supposed to be connecting with Johnny and finding his family. I didn't think it was for him to be a karate champion. It was supposed to be for Miguel. He's the karate kid, right? Well, I guess maybe Johnny's the karate kid. I don't know.
Daniel's the karate kid, but
yeah, but for this, yeah. So now Miguel is going to fight Axel, but Tori has to fight Zara first. I don't know if this is actually the order, but this is how we're going to go with it. So Zara, of course, is trying to. It is the order. So Zara is trying to get under Tori's skin. Talking to her, talking smack about Robbie and how like she could get anyone she wants, and all these people are here for her because she has all these followers and no one likes Tori. And it gets into Tori's head, and so she starts fighting poorly. And then eventually, Johnny's trying to give her a pep talk, and then Robbie comes over and he's like, "Hey, Sensei, can I talk to her for a second?" And she's just like, if you're going to tell me to do this, he's like, no. He's like, I was going to say, I love you. And she was like, and it was so cute. And then they kissed, and everyone in the audience goes, aw. And yeah, okay, maybe that's a about
no, that's pretty much how it went.
That's pretty much how it went. And then he goes, and no mercy, right? So she goes out there and ends up kicking Zara's ass and ends up winning and becoming the female champion, right? So that's all happening. Terry Silvers is pissed. But now it's time for Miguel and Axel to fight, right? And during this, Terry Silvers is pressuring the sensei of Iron Dragon to, make sure that Axel uses any means necessary to take Miguel out, right? Because he just wants to ruin him. He even goes so far as to tell him about how he hurt his back, and that if he was to kick him in the right way, he could break his back again. And I was like, it's like, that's awful. So, and of course, the kid, this Axel kid, because he also likes Sam. We talked about that in part 1. They had like a connection. But then he sees Miguel and Sam kissing. And so there's all that stuff going on. So he has these like conflicted feelings, but he also respects Sam and likes her and doesn't want to see her boyfriend get hurt, but then also wants to win. And, so the fight happens, and we get to watch Miguel, take lead or take teachings from both Daniel and Johnny. And after all said and done, he is able to win for Cobra Kai, mainly because Axel doesn't do what his sensei tells him to do. He's like, do this, and he chooses not to do that at all. And so, of course, that gives Miguel the opening he needs, and he wins. But because of the point system, while they have the 2 female and male champions, or the male and female champions, they don't have an overall dojo champion because they ended in a tie. And so now rules, this means that the senseis have to fight. So now Johnny has to fight the sensei of Iron Dragon. So that is the big showdown. So all of this really comes all the way back to Johnny proving himself once and for all, right? Johnny, who was like a drunk in the beginning of the whole TV show, kind of like sleeping in his car and being kind of a drag, and finally
Well,
doing.
I mean, they brought back a lot of things from that opening season, right? They brought back the guy from the pawn shop that was kind of making fun of him, like he was the guy at the bar.
Yep.
I love the way it opened up, though. I kind of wish that was the opening to season 6, was Johnny going to his mom's graveside and telling her, they're pretty much telling her that he's a loser, and he realizes that's what set him off. And the guy at Applebee's, he's like, they got these new cameras with the high definition. Like, I love that he explains this to his mom. It was so adorable. He's drunk, right? But it's adorable because he feels like that's when he peaked.
Yep.
It's high school and going to these tournaments. And he was like, and you were vouching for me, and it was the greatest time of my life. And everybody was screaming my name, and I'm just a loser now. Man, that hits. I was like, oh my God. Because the show is Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah.
Daniel had his story, he got his win. And even he got his own closure with Mr. Miyagi when he had the dream and the CGI was used. And I thought the CGI actually looked better than in season 6 part 2, when he was having the dream sequence of Mr. Miyagi. And here it actually looked pretty good.
It did look really good, yeah.
I thought, when they were fighting the skeletons in that dream, and I thought that hit too, when he was angry at Mr. Miyagi for leaving him, and then kind of having that revelation that it's okay to let go.
Yep.
That it's time to move on and now help Johnny. I thought that was cool. Oh man, last episode was so fucking beautiful. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Holy shit, when they were training and he's like, what's the best Rocky? And he was like, okay, I know you love 3 and 4 because they are Rocky 4 is the best, of course. But he was like, but the original Rocky's the best Rocky. Why? And he gives him the whole thing, which is funny, right? Because like the song that was supposed to be used in Rocky 3 was used in Karate Kid 1.
Yeah.
Right? Because Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger came out. I'm sorry. It's everything gets moved to the side. Eye of the Tiger becomes a Rocky 3 song. And they do the beach montage from Rocky 3 while You're the Best is playing. Oh my God, I fucking lost it. Like, I had to watch that so many times, and
that's when I texted you and said you were gonna love this so much, because I had started watching before you, and I was like, you need to watch this. You are going to cry at this.
Oh my, I did. It was like manly eye sweat. There's that beautiful bromance going on when he's training. They're both hugging each other on the beach.
Oh, the two of them becoming friends is probably my favorite part about this whole thing. But that was a great
dude, and the whole speeches at the end when he's fighting, I can't remember his name, Shatterstar. What's his name?
Shatterstar sounds Wolf.
Oh no, he played Shatterstar in Deadpool.
Oh, did he?
Because Melanie was like, "Oh, that guy can actually do martial arts," and I was like, "Yeah, he's Shatterstar in the."
Well,
Deadpool.
He's Wolf. Wolf is the name.
Wolf. Okay.
Yeah, Wolf is the name here in the show.
Whenever he's fighting him, and Daniel becomes his sensei, and oh man, everything was just so wonderful. Like
a lot of full circle moments, right?
Yeah, for Johnny, it really comes at the end.
For everyone.
Oh God, it was so good.
I know. So of course, Wolf and Johnny have to fight, and Terry. So all this is going on, Johnny ends up in the meantime while all this is happening. His girlfriend has a baby. He proposes to her and marries her before she has the baby at the hospital. And they give birth and they name her Laura after his mom, right? Which is really sweet. So now he has a new baby at home. And Terry Silvers, because you talked about the boat scene, but that scene is important because Terry Silvers wants his bodyguard to go and threaten Johnny's family, take his family, right? So what can he do to keep Johnny from winning? And Kreese was one step ahead of him. He knew it was going to happen. So he's on the boat with them and he kills bodyguard.
He kills Danny, the guy from Karate Kid 3. His bodyguard kills him.
He kills him. Dennis. It's Dennis.
Dennis, that was his name. Thank you.
Yeah. So then Silver goes to face Kreese out there on the deck of the boat, and Kreese actually made me tear up when he was like, "You're never like," he's talking to Silver, like, "You're never going to touch Johnny. You're not going to do that. I've never done like right by him, and I'm going to keep you from messing this up." And they had this fight, and the gasoline comes out, and he's able to use his cigar and light the gasoline, and the whole damn boat blows up. And I don't think Kreese survived. We don't see him again, so I'm assuming
nobody, no death.
I know, nobody. And we have Karate Kid legends. No, I'm just, I don't know. But coming out the movie, but I'm assuming Kreese is gone. But he took Silver's out, and obviously, it makes sense. You're gonna have Kreese taking Silver, like it's like the enemies turning on each other, right? That's what needs to happen in this kind of a story. So we get to the final, Johnny and Wolf fight, and Wolf is a very, very talented martial
Oh yeah,
artist.
he's a legit martial artist.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, like they look like they're unevenly matched, but of course, Johnny has his family watching, and
he's got his sensei, man.
He's there, and I love how Daniel's like, even like, he's like, "You're Cobra Kai." Like, oh, it was so good. So many good moments. And Johnny does defeat Wolf and ends up.
Oh, no, but not before the speed. Oh, man, when he calls timeout and, Johnny, he's 2 points behind. He's like, I can't beat this guy. He's obviously better than me. And fucking Daniel gives him the speech, and it's the Cobra Kai speech, right? Like, this fear exists in this dojo. No, sensei. So he says that. He says, then quit being a pussy and go kick this guy's ass. And I was like, yes, dude. I think I clapped at that moment. That was so badass. He spoke to Johnny, right? And Johnny went to go and whoop that dude's ass. And then, oh, man.
It was great, but he hit what he needed. He needed his own self.
And when he gets the trophy, right? Like, there's a scene with him and Daniel. This is another scene that got me. When he's like, "You're all right, Lawrence," which is the exact opposite of Karate Kid, right? Like when Daniel wins and Johnny hands him the trophy, and he's like, "You're all right, LaRusso." And that's how Karate Kid 1 ends, right? And in this, it's "You're all right, Lawrence." Then we get some after credits of playing a little Guns N' Roses, "Sweet Child of Mine." Yep.
We get some little after credits. And everyone's stories kind of wrap up. Tori and Robbie were approached at the end of the somewhere in the episode by a marketing agent to come and participate in tournaments worldwide and market different products and stuff. So now, and it makes a lot of money. So now Tori and Robbie, who are dating, are now off doing their adventure. Sam, who earlier was facing the dilemma of not wanting to go to UCLA, even though that's what her mom and dad wanted her to go to, Sam LaRusso, she had gotten into like a exchange program in Japan overseas. And she's like, I've always wanted to go because, dad's always talked about Mr. Miyagi, and talking to Mr. Miyagi, when we were younger, I've always wanted to go see Japan, and I've always wanted to be over there. So she gets accepted to the program.
Yeah, it's like a place in Okinawa, right?
It's a place in Okinawa, yeah. And that's when we find out about the reality of what happened to Mr. Miyagi with the whole killing the guy. And it's Daniel's mom is the one who tells them when they're having dinner, because she gives this necklace to Sam that's from Mr. Miyagi. It was his mother's that she had lost in internment camp. Is that what happened? And then he goes to try to get it back later on from someone that was trying to pawn it, and got in a scuffle over it. And the guy attacked him, and he fought back, and of course ended up killing the guy. So he was just trying to get this piece of jewelry back that was his mother's, right? So Daniel and Amanda look at each other like, oh, it all makes sense now. So Sam goes off to Okinawa, but not before Miguel decides to go on a little summer vacation with her, even though he is going to be going to Stanford.
Which is the same plot to Karate Kid 2, when Daniel's about to go to college and Mr. Miyagi's about to go to Okinawa, and he was like, "Wait, Mr. Miyagi, I'm coming with you." And he was like, "Well, college." Oh, Danielson. And Daniel's like, "Oh, college can wait. I've gone to school for 18 years or however long you go to school, 14, whatever." And he was like, I'll just come back and go to college late. College can wait.
Yeah.
I thought that was very, very reminiscent of that.
Exactly.
Johnny bought a house and
Johnny got a house. Yep.
And then him and Daniel are at the end with I know one of them is the producers, right? Both of the producers are talking in this little Easter egg scene about a reboot of Back to the Future. I think it's Back to the Future.
Yeah. Which I thought was very clever. Yeah, so they did both. So Johnny did restart Cobra Kai officially, and it's like out the door. All these kids, they're opening a second location, but you're also going to learn Miyagi-Do. So Daniel's still teaching. So we have this nice, like everything is just like kumbaya, symbiotic. Everything's working together very well. And then you see like the final scene in that, like in that Asian restaurant where they're both, sitting there, and the producers have the little Easter egg, and then they're talking, and Johnny goes to use the bathroom, and a fly's going around Daniel, and he remembers that very infamous scene from Karate Kid with the chopsticks catching the fly. And of course they do a flashback. So he gets the chopsticks and he's trying to get the fly. And then all of a sudden smack, and Johnny's like, got that for you. Like, Johnny just uses his hands, because that is like the definition of the two of them, right? Like patience and then force, like two, and then and Daniel just laughs and smiles to himself, and then that's it. I mean, and Chosen. Forget about Chosen's storyline. If anyone cares about what happened to Chosen.
If anyone cares about what happened to Chosen,
I do.
Wow.
He goes to Japan to be with Sun Young, which is who he should be with. So I was very happy.
What about Kimiko?
Well, she just likes him as a friend, and he can, that's it.
All right. Okay.
I'm good with it. And he needs to be done watching Storage Wars.
Oh, and what's her name had a cameo in this? Oh my gosh. Or at least I think it was her. You probably know, from Saved by the Bell. She was in Showgirls. She was the one that Amanda and Daniel were trying to set up.
That was her. I
think that's that.
That is her. Oh my gosh, that is.
What is her name?
It's Elizabeth Berkley. Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, Elizabeth. No, yeah, you're right. Elizabeth Berkley. I almost said Elizabeth Hurley was the one that was married to Hugh Grant.
No, Elizabeth Berkley. Yes,
it was in part 2, season 6. No, damn it. I think it was the second to the last episode.
They went on a little like date to a winery, and they brought Chosen as a
Strike Last, maybe that episode.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I want to say that was her, but I could be wrong. It looked like her.
No, you're right. It is. I've Googled it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I love this show. I think it was phenomenal. It's my type of show. I wish it could have gone longer. I will watch any stupid spin-offs. I'm okay with, even if it's Hawk and Dimitri, whatever. Like, I will watch that. I don't know. I just really care about the characters, and I think they really, they were really careful with the memory of Pat Morita and Mr. Miyagi, and I'm sure they had to have the family's approval for the likeness and everything and the voicing, and I'm sure they probably used AI voices for some of it. But yeah,
had to, yeah.
This final 3 episodes were some of the best, like legit some of the best. That final episode was phenomenal. That's like, that final episode was a 10 out of 10 for me. The series as a whole, the season 6, probably I would say 8.5 out of 10. No, 9 out of 10.
Well, the whole season.
The series as a whole, I think 9.5 out of 10. I think it was excellent. Like, it had a really strong beginning. I thought season 2 was solid. Season 3 was good. Then it kind of dipped a little bit because we had the same reoccurring plots. What? Bad guy, good guy, bad guy. Even Mike Barnes. I love all the cameos. I mean, it's just wonderful to see something that came out in 1984, 1986, and 1989, and to catch up with the characters, right? Like Robin Lively, Elizabeth Shue, and I cannot remember the actress's name that played Kimiko. Chosen coming back, Mike Barnes coming back. Yeah. Danny. The only one they couldn't get was what's his name, Snake. Oh my God, the Cobra Kai, they got everybody but Chad McQueen. We lost Chad last year. He passed away last year, but he was, I think he couldn't make it because he was committed. Actually, two of them. Tommy died too. He died of cancer, which is so weird because his character is the one that says, put him in a body bag in Karate Kid. And then in the show, he died as he's been zipped up by a body bag. And in real life, the actor did pass away of cancer. Yeah, I don't know. I love the show, and I wish there were more things like that respected things I enjoyed in the past and still made them enjoyable to keep watching. And and also, I can understand the drama. Like, you have to have it in there to bring new blood in, to bring new viewers in, right? A lot of new viewers sticking around to watch like 60-year-old men kicking the crap out of each other and having a feud. Probably not, right? Like, especially on YouTube. Yeah, loved it. I thought it was good. 9.5 out of 10 for the entire series. What about you?
Yeah. So obviously I've, watched The Karate Kid, don't have the same nostalgic love for it as you do, but I didn't watch it when it first came out on YouTube, but I caught up to it probably about a couple of years ago. That's when I started to binged all the seasons there on Netflix up to that point. But honestly, this was, to me, and I think I had put this on my Instagram about how the ending of this series is probably one of the very few TV shows that actually does justice to the show itself by the end of the series, right? They, because it's so hard to end a series, right? But to give everyone the kind of closure that they deserve, the way Johnny's story comes full circle, and Daniel's, and how they've reached this new respect for each other after these years of this, basically almost one-sided, disdain from Johnny's side, right? And I like that they did a great job with the casting of the young kids, because I think that if they didn't, that really made it difficult to keep watching it. But I mean, Peyton List as Tori, I mean, there's a reason why she's gone on and is starring in another show, right? School Spirits, all by herself. And then of course, why Miguel Sholo is Blue Beetle, I hope still, maybe. I mean, the characters themselves.
God, he'll be Sam Alexander.
Whatever. I guess so. Which is
in the MCU that he might be Sam Alexander.
I'll take him as Sam in anything.
I like a lot of these kids. Like, I think they're great. Peyton is awesome. Is it Megan? The girl that plays
Mary.
Sam?
Mary.
Yeah,
Mercy,
I like her too.
Yep.
Robbie, the two goofy kids. Like, I can't remember his real name. I do love the fact that they even kept Johnny the same. Like, he had growth, right?
Yeah.
But deep down, he's still the same. Like, he's still calling kids names that most people would get canceled by, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't make a lot of characters like that. I think for most part, TV nowadays plays it safe. Oh, we can't call a kid that. Oh, you can't make fun. Like, there are certain things you can't make fun of, and it feels like the character stayed the same throughout the whole thing. Like, just completely has no idea how the internet works or anything like that. He was looking for hot chicks. That's still one of my favorite moments. Find me some hot chicks, man. Like,
yeah, exactly. They are engaged. And then
real life.
The actor Hawk is dating Peyton List or Tori in real life as well. So, which is kind of cute. They pop up on each other's stuff. But yeah,
I hope they last.
I
enjoyed
loved it.
And I wish more things. And I will probably go back and visit it again. And if they ever come out with a physical, Bruce, where you at? I know they did like a season 1. Where's the rest of the seasons? They're doing a complete series. I would be there. I would buy this bandana and everything. Give me the limited edition. Now, I think you may know this. Is the Karate Kid movie in the same universe that's coming out with?
I believe so, yes.
Jackie Chan and that
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio?
I thought it was the same universe.
Like, it's set in the same universe, so it happens after Cobra Kai?
I would assume yes.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm looking it up now. Returning as a new mentor.
Omar about to spend $500 on a Cobra Kai.
He will. He's going to.
You should see my basement. It's ridiculous.
Okay, yes. So it is a continuation. It is his same character. So it's in the same universe, but we're just taking him away from everything that's going on in the valley.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Need the director's cut with more Stingray. Dude, that guy didn't they got that guy back, and that guy was up for an Oscar. For that Clint Eastwood movie. I can't remember what it was.
Yes.
Mary and Tanner are so cute together.
They are.
Oh, what is your rating, Amanda? I give it a 9.5. What would you?
Well, because Omar started talking about, anyways. So I think I would give it a solid 9 out of 10 overall.
9 out of 10, yeah.
I definitely think that. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I mean, I think it would be, for me, just an overall 9 out of 10 for both the season and the whole show. Because I think maybe like some of the middle seasons may have dipped for me. Because like you said, it was kind of repetitive, but this ending, man, it was perfect. It was so perfect.
You brought up a really good point. There's a lot of television out there that it's hard to stick to it. Like, it doesn't stick to the landing, right? Like, because
it does stick to the landing.
Because you may have an awesome premise, but really it depends on that ending. Like, I think of shows like Lost, which I actually like the ending of Lost. I know a lot of people, I think majority of people had a problem with it. Game of Thrones, that start off amazing. But really how good a show and the rewatch value and how it sticks with you really depends on the ending. To me, that's how that's how I feel about memorable shows, like whether it's The Sopranos or The Wire or 6 Feet Under. And I know The Wire gets a lot of hate for that season 5. I freaking loved every bit of The Wire. I don't think we'll ever have a show like that. But then again, we'll never probably have a show like The Sopranos. So I think, it really depends on the ending, how it ends, and it just makes it more memorable. So,
speaking of endings, James, fun fact, I've never watched How I Met Your Mother. So no.
Oh, where are you at? Where are you at now, James?
I also know that the How I Met Your Mother ending was also controversial because you don't meet the mother until like the very final few episodes, which is Christina Milioti, the amazing.
She's great.
Oh my God,
what a phenomenal actress.
Such an amazing actress, but only to figure out that she dies, and he's talking to his
does Bob Saget appear in the ending?
No. No.
Okay, so I watched the first 2 episodes of this show. It wasn't for me, but I'm glad that, it was for everybody else, apparently.
Yeah.
And the only reason I watched it was because of Allison Hannigan.
Yeah, because Buffy.
Willow, because I was a big fan of Buffy, and I'm like, oh, she's in a new show. But it just wasn't for me. It was just so weird. The Shield is another one that has a great ending. I love that. I think it's perfect. Yeah, perfection. And she's the one in The Penguin. She's an amazing actress.
Fantastic. She's gonna
switch to Christine.
She's probably
How I Met Your Mother. She was also in The Sopranos. She was in The Sopranos. She played John, the daughter of Johnny.
Yeah, but the ending. It ended up being, they're like, Dad, I think you're really in love with Aunt Robin. And I'm like, wait, all this time, it doesn't even matter about your mom that you're in love with Robin? That's, okay, it was bad. And I was like,
Johnny breakdown at the end with Kreese was the best acting on the show.
Yes, you threw me away like trash. It was such, the way he delivered that. I was like,
memorable, man. That was good. I stopped watching Dexter with season 3. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yes, that ending was awful.
I don't know. But then they rebooted.
Yeah, it's still not great. They did reboot it.
See, that was a show that I really liked the premise. I'm like, cool. And they kind of got, and then what happens, right? The same thing happened with Lost. It just got so super popular. The network wanted to keep going and going.
Yep.
And when that happens, they kind of pad out storylines. Season 3 of Dexter, no season 4. That was peak. Was it
Umbrella Academy is another one I was thinking of too recently that just did not stick the landing either.
Yeah, that was
well,
because there is no ending by Gerard Way. Not yet.
Not yet, so we don't know. Just like in Game of Thrones, we don't know how it's gonna end. I don't know.
All right, what is next? Let's talk about what do you want to talk about next?
Now let's talk about Spider-Man, and then we'll finish out with
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Boy, this animation was not for me.
I didn't actually mind it, but I know you don't really like this kind of animation.
Well,
I didn't.
I will say, whoa, that just got really vibrant in here. I will say, I think it took me a while to get used to it, but by the time I think the fifth, I mean, it's 10 episodes, right? The fifth episode, so about halfway through the series, I was like, okay, the action sequences don't look that bad. Kind of reminded me of the way that I felt about the Berserk movies. I'm not a fan of hand-drawn animation. I'm sorry, of fake hand-drawn animation that is put on top of computer-generated animation, right? Like, so
yeah,
for me, it just took me a while to get my eyes used to it. For this, it took me 5 episodes. And I thought, all right, I'm still not a fan. It just looks so stiff, so weird, man. Like, especially characters in the background. And I don't know. It just looks off. It's very off-putting. The animation. The story itself was all right. Actually, it has like one of my favorite stories in there.
Which one?
I want to say, I think it was episode 5 or 6. It's the Slingers episode where they're trying to find an identity for Spider-Man, right? Like at the end, he gets.
Yeah.
Like I think 4, maybe it's episode 4. But it's got the cameo of Prodigy. It's got the cameo of Dusk. So, I was like, this is so cool. We're actually getting like some comic book stuff in here.
Yeah.
And what else did I enjoy about this? Actually, I didn't have a problem at all with the voice acting. I thought it was good.
I thought the voice acting was solid. I like the story a lot. It took me a minute to figure out that it was like an alternate universe or an alternate like version of our MCU, because they talk about the Accords and all that stuff, but
oh no, you could tell it's an alternate version, like from the beginning, right? When Doctor Strange is coming from another
time,
another world, right? Another world
or another time.
Okay.
Because
and that's how he gets his powers. He gets his powers from the portal that Doctor Strange opens, right?
Yep.
By the way, another hotness, May Parker. Super hot.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's a portal opens up. He's Doctor Strange is fighting a villain, and then the spider drops and bites him, and hey, superpowers, cool. What I found interesting in this is that the friends that he has in school are different than the friends that you're used to, right? In the comic books. Yeah. I think everybody expected, okay, it's a Spider-Man show. He's back in high school. We're going to have Gwen Stacy. We're going to have Mary Jane. I was expecting these things, but it's going to be different versions of them, right?
Yeah.
As soon as we saw the picture of, what was his name? Harry Osborn, you're like, okay, they're going to change a lot of these characters up. So a lot of people were speculating like, oh, MJ is going to be the Asian girl. But no, it's freaking Nico Minoru, who is one of my favorites characters in Runaways. Like, I love that character.
Oh, that is. I was trying to remember
because that's why she summoned her mom. And you're like, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Now I was like, why do I?
Kid Legends is out May 25th. It is a sequel to everything. Thank you, Bruce. Now, Bruce, what I need you to do is find out if there's a physical release of Cobra Kai one day. Hey, Amanda and Omar, I've had a crazy week and just wanted to say hello and hope you two are well. Love you guys. Much love to you, buddy, and I hope it's better. Nico is the only character they use from Runaways. Yep. Which I'm okay with at first, right? But again, it's another universe. And then what is his name? His friend's name. Yes. Okay. So here, give me the pitch. Give me the pitch, Amanda.
Yeah, no. I was like Lonnie. His friend Lonnie, who's on the football team, and he ends up becoming Tombstone.
Yeah, so it's a different approach at the character. Well,
is it? I mean, I'm assuming it is, right?
It's a different approach at the character of Tombstone, and it's just what is his name? Is it? I always thought it was Alonzo. His the character's name. Alonzo
I think so.
Thompson something.
Tombstone?
It's called 3D cell shaded animation. Yeah.
His name's Alonzo.
Not my cup of tea, but that.
Alonzo Thompson,
known
as Lonnie.
Okay. So yeah, I think in the comics he goes by Alonzo Thompson Lincoln. I think. I can't remember. But it took me a minute. It took me by surprise when he was like, I'm going to call you Tombstone. I was like, what?
What?
Finesse, Speedball, New Warriors or something. Shut up. I wish. What are your thoughts on Finesse working with Daredevil?
Oh, yeah. That was an interesting reveal at the end there.
Was that Charlie Cox that did his voice?
It was Charlie Cox. Yeah,
okay,
Charlie
I was
Cox
like, that sounds like him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Talk to me, Amanda.
Talk to you about what?
What is the show about? What is the sorry, what's the pitch? I forgot to
the pitch. It's an alternate version of our MCU, right? So the Accords, all that stuff still exists. Captain America is still kind of like a
I want to come back to this because I have thoughts about
is on the run. And Spider-Man ends up getting, or Peter Parker ends up getting these powers because of this fight that Doctor Strange has over Midtown High School, still by Spider. And so he decides to, of course, do what Spider-Man does and makes himself his homemade outfit and everything like that. The only difference here is that, I mean, he's still a smart kid and all that stuff, but he is kind of caught by Norman Osborn on security camera footage. And so Norman Osborn wants to work with him. And Norman Osborn is voiced by Oscar-nominated actor Coleman Domingo. I did not know that. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
Who I always thought would be in the MCU at some point for something. But
so
Coleman Domingo's in the MCU.
He's in this. Is this not the MCU?
I thought MCU proper. Fine. Okay.
Wow, MCU proper. Sorry, entire cast of your friendly neighborhood Spider.
What I mean, live action. Okay. Because I didn't also know Hugh Dancy played Otto Octavius.
Hugh Dancing. Who's that?
Hugh Dancy. Okay, I don't know. The only thing I can remember off the top of my head he's in is Ella Enchanted with Anne Hathaway, but he plays the prince, and I don't think you know.
Enchanted? I saw
Ella Enchanting. Ella Enchanted.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's in Hannibal. That's probably better. Yes, thank you. Okay. See, I knew he was in something else, but that's the only thing in my mind because I've watched that so many times.
In my region, there's only DVDs for Cobra Kai, not Blu-ray or 4K. I think then nerfed it to only that quality so you can stay subscribed to Netflix. We have DVD and Blu-ray of Cobra Kai in the UK. I need it in America. The first 5 seasons of Cobra Kai was released on DVD only. That's what I thought. But no Blu-ray or 4K? Come on, Netflix. Love Ella Enchanted. Well, there you go. Now,
there we go.
I love that you went with Ella Enchanted and not. Oh, he's married to Claire Danes. Oh,
yeah,
why did you just say Claire Danes' husband? I'm just
kidding.
Because
that would have.
I would not have known that. I would not have known that.
Okay. Anyways, so he decides to work with Norman and also be an intern for Oscorp, working on all these special So he's with other interns like Amadeus Cho. I was like,
hey, right?
And of course, a female version of Dr. Connors.
Look at you! What gave it away? The missing arm?
Still missing the arm. I was like, all right. So when is she gonna become a lizard? Any day now. But not in this season, guys. Not yet. So they're all working on these separate projects for Mr. Osborn while Norman and Peter are trying to figure out the whole Spider-Man thing, right? And so Norman has his people work up all the there's an episode where he works up all these different costumes that are just absolutely ridiculous. One of them, the first one reminded me of what's the character that Gohan plays in
Super
the superhero character yes, he looked like that with the cape and the hat. And I was like, I don't like that at all.
That's Prodigy. That's what I was talking about. That was the Slingers, right? The Prodigy just in what's his name? The other one. Ricochet. Those are the characters that showed up. that Spider-Man
Oh.
pretended to be. Netflix don't want to release 4K Blu-ray, so you can stay dependent on them. Netflix does not own Cobra Kai. Sony does. Up to them. But since it has been only released in DVD here in the States, not a good sign. Dang it. Thank you, Bruce, for the information in the super chat. I dug the Future Foundation suit. I thought that was cool. And I thought, oh, this is how they're going to make it different. It's not going to be your regular red and blue outfit. It's going to be legit just the white outfit.
Yeah,
Okay.
but eventually that doesn't really work out. So they do settle on that Future Foundation looking outfit. And so while all that's happening and he's fighting crime, Lonnie, who is a football star, you know, looking to go do all these great things, has a girlfriend and Pearl. They're all this mutual friend group, and his younger brother gets involved with the 110th. It's a gang run by Big Dom. It's Big Dom. I think it's Big Dom. And after a while, Lonnie has to go try to get his brother out of this. And what does his do? He's like, take me instead of my brother. I'll work for you. So he just throws his football, you know, career down the drain to go work for this, you know, gang leader. And then they're fighting Matt Gorgon. So we have the Scorpion. So the Scorpion is like our main, I guess he'd be our main villain. Him and Otto Octavius would be our main.
I will say it surprised me the show did not shy away from violence, like people getting stabbed, people getting killed, like a little bit, you know, off screen, but still, like necks are broken, people are getting stabbed. Yeah.
I mean, when Scorpion gave Peter a beatdown, I mean, that was a fairly significant beatdown.
Yeah, I agree.
It was pretty intense. So they have the two gangs are scuffling, and of course, we know that Peter's going to end up getting in the middle of this because he is supposed to be protecting the city. And he also becomes friends with Harry Osborn, who is homeschooled, I believe. And he is basically your average rich kid who has a ton of followers on Instagram, but doesn't really have a life outside of that. And he stumbles upon Peter accidentally, like while he's working for Norman. And so Norman's like, oh, he can be, you know, he can help you when I'm not around. And of course, the whole guy in the chair jokes and all that stuff. So they actually become friends. Nico doesn't like this. Nico doesn't understand why she's.
Yeah, she gets a little jealous at first.
She's very jealous. Yeah. But
the other character we haven't talked about, this is another one, the supporting cast is Pearl.
Yes, Pearl. I don't call her.
In the comic books, she's a newer character.
Okay.
I don't know if she's in Marvel. I bet Maddie could tell us. I don't know if she's in Marvel Rivals or not. But she's part of the Agents of Atlas, and she goes by the character. What is her name? Wave.
Wave. Okay.
So she goes by Wave in the Marvel comics.
Gotcha.
Peter only really threw the punch. The rest was just shooting webs through. Oh, okay. So Matt Gargan isn't jobbing in this. I am shocked. Matt Gargan is different in this one too. Like, yeah, they changed his character up some, but I mean, honestly, they changed a lot of the characters up in the show.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not this universe, right?
No, it's not. And so Otto Octavius is in secret selling a bunch of high-tech weaponry to all of these villains, including the Scorpion. He's the one who makes the Scorpion suit, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, we kind of find out that all of this, like everything that Norman has been having Peter do, is essentially just to find Otto so that he can get access to all of his research and everything that he's been doing. And he is successful in that. He is able to gain access to all of Otto's, research and samples and all that stuff, which is very necessary for Norman's grand plans. And yeah, Pearl is dating Lonnie, but Lonnie's not really truthful with her. And as he starts to withdraw from school because he's working with the gang, and especially once Big Dom has his back and stuff like that in a fight with the Scorpion, he gives him the nickname Tombstone, and he, decides it's not so bad. And
it's not so bad.
Yeah. So he starts becoming becoming part of the gang, a little bit heavier, a little bit deeper into it. And Nico eventually finds out Peter is Spider-Man because Harry accidentally told her when they were trying to bond, because Harry wants Nico to like him and Peter wants them to get along, and that did not really go out in his favor. But then essentially after they're able to get Otto's samples and everything like that, the 1/10 is trying to steal the truck that has everything in it, which leads to this big showdown between them and Scorpion's gang. This time, though, because Peter did fight the Scorpion, did lose very badly. And if it wasn't for Norman's glider, some random glider that he happens to have, I don't know why he would need a glider. That saved.
Well, you know why.
I know.
Come on.
So after that, he doesn't have a suit because the suit's ruined, the Future Foundation suit. And he essentially is like, he gets the speech from Norman, but it's not with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, I like that. I like that little change.
With great power comes great respect, which is very fitting for a man like Norman Osborn. If you have the power, show it, and you will get respect, right? So it's a different version of what Ben would say.
Well, the whole time, I don't know about you, you're like, okay, when is it coming? When's he
gonna turn? When's he gonna
turn? Right? Like, when are we doing this? When are we doing this? I'm waiting now. Yeah, and never does. And then you get to the ending, right, where you're like, oh, okay, this might be the way they do it.
Yeah, and with the ending being, so he ends up stopping the 1/10 and the Scorpion gangs from fighting over the truck with all of the Oscorp samples, but not before Big Dom runs away and leaves his gang high and dry, so that Lonnie's picking up the slack.
God,
that guy. So, and then Lonnie gets in the truck and he gets exposed to some kind of chemical, and then all of a sudden Lonnie has super strength, and he's able to help Peter stop the Scorpion. And so after all that happens, then we find out the real reason. Everything that Norman's been doing with the interns and everything is creating the same kind of portal that they created in was it Avengers? Was the original Avengers? That portal, right? Where Loki came in, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Creating a portal to other worlds, to space. And they're like, wait a minute, we didn't sign up, we didn't agree to this. And then when they turn it on and open it, Doctor Strange comes and he's like, no, don't do it. Don't turn it on. And he's like, no, you'll see. And then they turn it on, and then who shows up but Venom? Because or the symbiote. Sorry, the symbiote shows up. And of course, that leads to a fight with all of them, Doctor Strange. And after all said and done, Peter's no longer working for Norman, but Harry's like, I still think that, you like kids like that, you guys need a place to like be able to create without it being some guy's like ulterior like motives or, for someone else. And he's like, I'm going to create my own, lab. And he invites everyone in there, including Finesse. And then they all start going over there, and Lonnie, I guess, is now getting his GED, and he is, full-time, I think the leader of this gang. And so all these things have changed. And the very end, Norman's going through the wreckage of that lab area where the portal was, and there's some moving symbiote that he finds.
And then the big reveal at the end is what?
Oh, that Daredevil is working with Finesse?
No, that Peter Parker's dad.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, wait, did I watch a different show? Oh, crap. Maybe I watched a different show.
May goes to visit him in prison. And I was like, wait a minute.
So obviously a different universe, right?
Very different. Part of me was thinking it was going to be Ben, actually. I was like, wait, who's she visiting in prison? Is Ben actually alive, but he's really like in prison? And this is like the way they've been talking about it is just coded? Is that what it is?
I mean, it could be, but yeah. But that was it. That was Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And somebody was asking about Finesse and Daredevil. I love the character of Finesse. She's one of my favorite creations at what was it, Avengers Academy. That's when she first appeared. Daughter of Taskmaster, right? So it's all kind of connected.
Yep,
so I was good with that, and I kind of like her character in this.
Yeah, I liked her character too.
My biggest issue with this show is that it's basically the animation. The plot itself was okay. I think they did different things. They made it fun. It's definitely for a different target audience than me, right? It's for getting new people to check out Spider-Man and then hopefully check out the comics. Or at least that's what I hope.
Characters, yeah.
Introducing new characters that will later evolve into different characters, and no MJ, no Gwen Stacy, no Flash, no Liz, nothing like that. So, I mean, to me, it's no different than like the Ultimate Spider-Man comic, the original Ultimate Spider-Man, or the new Ultimate Spider-man comic.
Yeah, because that was
a different universe than my Peter Parker. And to me, it feels the same way I feel about the original Ultimate Universe. I'm like, yeah, I like the original. I've been there, done that with this. And I've never been there's never been a Spider-Man cartoon show that I dug. Maybe the age, but the reruns of the original 60s cartoons with the actual frame comics, that's what I grew up with in Peru. But like the 90s, then I mean, it just really wasn't for me. The Spectacular Spider-Man, Spider-Man Unlimited, and all that stuff. Although Spectacular Spider-Man, I did watch that with Melanie, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, but
yeah, you're just not a fan.
What about you? Did you like this?
So I liked aspects of it. I kind of enjoyed. So I always, and that's probably because I read a lot of fan fiction. I like seeing different takes on characters, and I like seeing how they're going to write in the different characters from the Spider-Man universe. So it was fun to, as the story is moving along, but oh, that's going to be that character, or that's going to be that character, right? And so trying to see how different they were going to make the universe, particularly from the MCU universe, right? Because we knew it was going to be different, but kind of the same. Because even like the kid kind of was reminiscent of a Tom Holland character, just the way he acts and everything like that. Very reminiscent of it. But there were aspects I liked. I do enjoy Peter Parker having like a mentor character. So I thought it was kind of cool that it was Norman Osborn. I thought that was an interesting take.
That was different, right?
Yeah, it's different. It's something that I'm into because it's the like when he becomes a villain, Peter Parker has to turn on a man who's, been there for him this whole time. And that's kind of, that's hard to do. So that creates conflict, inner conflict, and things like that, right? What's right and wrong, morality. So I do enjoy that too. And I mean, does it kind of remind me of some of the fan fiction I wrote for my own Spider-Man fan fiction for MCU Tom Holland? Actually, yeah.
Oh my God. Which character were you?
I was none. I didn't write myself into it. I wrote.
You expect me to believe that?
Yeah, I wrote like Zendaya.
You're just like the Watcher.
Yeah.
Lydia watched this with me and she was like, whoa, who was that? And I was like, that's the Watcher. What's he do? I was like, just watches everything. Like, because he appeared right at the very end, or I'm sorry, right before the ending. The Watcher appears.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of dug it, because
okay. Did you like the music? Did you like the music?
I do like the music. I thought, okay, they're going for something like kids. Like, yeah.
If we're looking at the city, like inner city school kids, that's exactly what I mean. Absolutely, they did.
Just right.
I assume.
Yes. So I don't write myself into that fan fiction.
I know you've already said that.
I don't want to be a Mary Sue.
She's a Gary Lou.
A Carrie Lou. So yeah, I actually kind of dug it. I'm interested to see where it goes, and because I like all the characters. Maybe we'll see a Kingpin. Who knows? Since Daredevil's in it, there's a good chance we will.
Okay.
but yeah, like even having him like meet Doctor Strange and like I wrote like a whole a trilogy of Tom Holland's Spider-Man with Norman Osborn and Harry working together and then becoming enemies. And I wrote where he works with Doctor Strange and he becomes his mentor, and then Daredevil and him are hanging out on the rooftop. I was like, I've written all this before. Like I love like, so it's like, this works, with just different characters. But yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Okay. What did you not like about the show?
I will say some of the animation I didn't like. I do like the way it was like the colorization of it. I do like that. It's kind of like
I thought the same thing. Not Final Fantasy, but the piano at the beginning sounded like a video game, and I can't recall what it was. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, so I don't know. What didn't I like about it? I guess I really didn't dislike a lot about it. I really liked the story. I liked the voice actors for all the different characters. Yeah.
Okay. So you had not any big issues or anything. All right. What would you give your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man out of 10, Amanda?
Oh, I think I would give this overall a solid like 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I would go back and rewatch it. I don't think it was like masterful. Like I don't think it's the best Spider-Man ever, but I dug where some of the storylines were going, and I was intrigued by the different takes they were taking of some of the characters. So there we go.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll go back to watch it. If there's a season 2 and you want to review it, I will. It's definitely if we weren't doing the show, I probably would have stopped watching it. Just because. But none of these Spider-Man cartoons clicked with me. I'm not just saying like this is the worst one or anything.
Yeah, you just don't like.
It wasn't for me. 5.5 out of 10 for me.
5 out of 10. Yeah. Now, have you tried Spidey and His Amazing Friends? May I turn you on?
I don't have any babies in the house. I don't need to.
But do you need babies when you have the dulcet tones of Patrick Stump singing to you? Because on me, that makes that an instant 10 out of 10 right there.
Like, can we change this stupid thing too, please?
No.
I was doing a one-on-one today, and I had to turn my camera. I'm like, oh my god! Not even the MTV one. What was that? Was that Spectacular Spider-Man by?
No, that was
What was it called?
Oh my gosh, there was one that everyone is Spectacular. Yeah, was it?
I thought that was the one Wiseman, Greg Wiseman did. Like, was that on MTV? I thought there was a different one on MTV that Bendis was doing.
The new animated series. That's the one. I thought that was the one a lot of people liked. Spider-Man, the new animated series. It was on MTV. It only had one season.
Probably. I don't know. Like I said, it's just not this Spider-Man. It's all the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
Do you know how like Batman has Batman the animated series? That's the one that everyone.
I'm very familiar with the Batman animated series. Yes.
Well, no, I know, but that's like the animated series for the Bat. Like everyone says that's the best animated. What's the animated series for Spider-Man that everyone's like, this is the best Spider-Man animated series? Obviously not for you, Omar, because you barely don't like any of it. For you, what is the?
I think a lot of people have said. A lot of people have probably said Spectacular Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, that's what Blas is saying. Spectacular.
Yeah, Spectacular's the best. Okay. Oh man, I love Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I grew up on that. That was 80. What was that? 85, 86 Cullen, right? With that Firestar. You had Iceman. I think people hated it when it came out, but I absolutely loved the MTV one. It had so much swag. In Spectacular Spider-Man. I thought Spectacular is the one that probably gets like most, or I'm sorry, the one that I see a lot of people talk about that it's great.
Is that Spectacular Spider-Man? Yeah.
All right, Amanda. We rated this. We rated whatever else we rated. I can't remember. What do we got to do? What do we got to talk about?
Oh, we have to really quickly, I guess, talk about SNL 50th anniversary special.
Saturday Night Live. What's up, Kingsport Cow? Where you been, dude?
Better late than
90s
never.
nostalgia is wise, is great, but does drag. 90s nostalgia wise. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about Dragon. That show was like ADHD, man. It just moved with like the plot. We ain't got time for character development. We got to move the plot along. Spectacular for Speed, Spider-Man 94 in second. Spider-Man Unlimited. That was the follow-up, right, to the animated series?
I think so.
I just watch all those God damn, I can't talk. SNL skits. Adam Sandler's song was great. I need them to redo or to do Spider-Man 98. I'm surprised they haven't announced that yet. And I'm surprised they haven't announced X-Men 97 season 2, or I guess X-Men 98 or whatever for the fall, yeah, like for the lineup of 2025. What is going on? Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, 1981 to 1983. Thank you so much, Bruce. Stand corrected. 85 was, I think, Firestar's first appearance in the comics. Unlimited was a follow-up originally, but then they said it was out of continuity. Oh. All right, SNL. They got together. 50 years of SNL.
SNL, man. Yeah.
What hit for you? What did not work for you, Amanda? Did you all watch it? Who did not watch it?
Yes. I mean, I watched that bad boy live.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of it live.
Yes. So
holy crap, they managed to get Jack Nicholson out of bed.
Yeah, I know. Just to introduce Adam Sandler for like 2 seconds, but it was worth it. The musical numbers I could have done without. I did like Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon. I thought their rendition, the opener, was very beautiful. I saw Miley Cyrus and Brittany Howard do their thing on the music concert special they had on Friday. And I was like, meh. I mean, it's still good, but I didn't need to see them again. I had already seen them at the musical concert one. So I couldn't wait. And then Lil Wayne's was a little, I don't know, I felt like kind of all over the place.
I skipped all the musical acts.
Yeah. And then I know Paul McCartney, closed it out, but again, I was there to see, I just wanted to see my favorite musical act. My favorite musical numbers was Adam Sandler's song.
That was so good, man. Sandler did so, he was solid in this.
Why does he do such a good job? He's just so you forget how talented that guy is, but he's so talented. There's a reason why he's so rich.
I Turkey song. He did the Hanukkah song, right? He's always
the wedding singer songs. I mean, let's face it, he's very, very talented.
Dude, how sad was that? That was such a weird decision to re-air the Belushi short where he's visiting all the graves of his friends, and he's like, I don't know why I'm the last one alive.
But then
I texted Amanda. I was like, that had to be one of my favorite moments. I did not like Black Jeopardy. I thought that skit was dumb. But Eddie Murphy playing Tracy Morgan, I was like, oh, dude, that was
the 4-cheese lasagna joke. Or
when he was like,
my father was James Earl Jones.
That skit, it was just a bad skit, I think, and then it kind of fell apart when they got rid of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, for some reason to bring back Doug. Well, I've watched probably more of that part of SNL than you have. So I've seen the Black Jeopardy skits with Doug, Tom Hanks' character before, right? I've seen him before, so I was like, oh, they brought him back. It's funny because the joke is from the number of times I've seen the sketch is that he doesn't. They all expect him not to know anything about Black culture, but it turns out there's more in common than you would think, right? Between him and
I'll be honest with you. I was sad not to see Dana Carvey because my dude.
He was not there at all, though.
Yeah, Dana. Because I wanted. I know you're saying church lady. I wanted to see Wayne's World. What is Wayne? What are Wayne and Garth up to now?
Yeah.
Can you imagine them reviewing stuff? Still living in his mom's basement.
That's
what I wanted to see. So sad that Dan Aykroyd wasn't there.
But that's about
who else wasn't there? Dennis Miller wasn't there. Dan Aykroyd.
I don't think.
Robert Downey Jr. We all forget that Robert Downey Jr. was a cast member. Joanne Cusack wasn't there.
I was sad because Bill.
I kept pausing. I kept pausing and zooming in. I'm like, okay, who's there? Now they might have made it to the after party, but who else wasn't there? Well, Randy Quaid wasn't there. Granted, he was Joe Piscopo there? I didn't see Joe Piscopo.
I don't know. But let's see so my favorite sketches. So I like Will Ferrell's Robert Goulet, but the Lawrence Welk show for me always was a weird sketch with the tiny hand. Like,
oh, the tiny hand.
Yeah, and I couldn't stand Kim Kardashian just stared at the camera the whole time, and I was like, stop.
Wait, Piscopo was there for real? That's awesome.
The New York sketch, which I know was written by John Mulaney, where the New York
songs.
Sketch, yes, God, it may have gone on for too long.
I kind of dug it. I do love the fact. I wonder how if it was actually written in the script that David Spade was just gonna go sit down again.
I hope it was,
or if he was just like, I get it.
I get the gist of it. I'm good. I thought that was fantastic, actually. He's like, wait, where's Spade? He's like, he went to sit me.
Okay, cool.
I love it. And they said it, everyone, like I was watching. So in the one part where Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis and Will Forte stand up and they're fighting back and forth. And then Kevin Costner and Jenna Ortega are in
I wonder how much of that like Costner. So
awkward. Like they know what's gonna happen.
Maybe Jenna Ortega, right?
When
Costner was probably like, "What the hell is this?"
I know, and when Kristen
What's
Wiig,
up, Project Mikey? How you doing, brother?
When Kristen Wiig coughed on Larry David, was it Larry David? No, yeah, it was.
Wait, was it Kristen Wiig?
Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's Larry David, right?
Yeah. Okay.
She was dressed as the Eminem, and she was singing "I Dreamed a Dream," and then she coughed on him and grabbed him. He looked so comfortable. No, but that was an interesting skit. The Domingo skit totally made it for me. I don't know if you watched the original Domingo skit. Again, you don't watch current SNL, but I've tried to make Omar watch Marcelo.
Oh, we did a little bit. When you come over, you show it. I
tried to make him watch Marcelo because I really like Marcelo Hernandez. But having him and Pedro Pascal and Bad Bunny be brothers was perfect. And Molly Shannon as the drunk, horny mom was excellent.
So yeah, that's kind of when I came back to SNL. Like was Molly Shannon and I told you the Amy Poehler and what's her name? Tina Fey. Yeah. Thought they were great. What's up, John? How are you, brother? That cracked me up, though. What have you heard? Right. I wonder if like his wife wouldn't do the joke, so he did the joke.
I don't even know, because if you saw her face, I don't think she's that great of an actress, but she looked like
that was Lady Deadpool you're talking about.
Anyways, that was just a weird play. I was like, you're really trying to like just make a joke out of this whole thing, but I mean, that stuff in that lawsuit is pretty damn accusatory. I mean, you guys just need to not be there. Like, I don't know. But everyone online is all like, it must be so weird him watching like Scarlett Johansson, be all lovey-dovey with Colin Jost and getting to be on all the skits and stuff. Because, the rumors are that he cheated on her with Blake Lively on the set of Green Lantern because they were married.
Wait, who cheated? What?
Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson were married. Then they
ScarJo, yeah.
And so there's like speculation that him and Blake were together.
Wait, you're saying that people?
Oh yeah,
Hollywood people cheat? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I've
yes.
Never
Thank you, Project Viking, for backing me up there. She is not special.
That Amanda's not special?
She hasn't really acted in much. Or maybe it's Ryan's. I don't know. Anyway,
who are we talking about? I am so lost, man.
Okay. Anyway, so I like the Domingo sketch.
Which was the Domingo sketch? The one where they're dancing?
and they're like, "Hey,
The
Ma,
wedding, the
come all
wedding.
this way, had to explain." Yes, that song. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, the wedding, like the
wedding.
wedding, and it's Martin Short. I thought it was a funny opening with Martin Short and Steve
She's
Martin,
like,
like where he was
"Oh,
like calling ice. He was yelling ice to come and get
like,
Martin Short
damn
because
you,
he's
you
an idiot.
white-haired son of a bitch!" I was like,
And then he was naming names. That was awesome.
but
I
okay,
w-
can we talk about how Steve Martin is 79 years old? He looks the same as he did in like the 80s. Like,
what happens when you have white hair like at a young age?
but even like I'm thinking like he's almost 80 years old, but with like the clarity and the way he jokes, I'm like, there's not many people that like, who just come across so eloquent and funny. And yeah. And I liked when John Mulaney came out and he's like, trying to give the kudos to celebrity guests. You're some of the most difficult people I've ever had to work with. It's like,
Oh, okay. So, for me, I kind of wish. Actually, no, I really do wish they would have had the entire original cast up there. I know Garrett Morris went up there, but he's in a chair, and obviously at the end, he needed to be held up.
yeah.
I think can't remember who. Might have been like Paul Simon. Somebody was actually helping him up, and I know we lost Gilda Radner and of course John Belushi, but it would have been nice to see other like
Kevin,
Jane Curtin, and
yeah.
I know that what's her name had a little bit of part, a little part in this. Yeah, that was cute, and then of course Pete Davidson just.
You don't have you? Yeah, I like the chest.
Yeah, I know. I get the joke. I get that he's a character. Yeah, hilarious.
They're so weird. They're not my
It would
favorite.
have been nice to see like Chevy Chase up there.
I was surprised Chevy Chase chose not to do anything.
I don't know. Eddie Murphy, dude. Eddie Murphy killed it. Not only as that guy, but the other dude that's like, I don't do anything halfway.
I'm all the way away because I don't do anything halfway.
I don't do anything halfway.
No, he was the MVP. Him and Will Ferrell for me.
Yes, Jane Curtin was there, and so was Lorraine Newman, and they were holding up a picture of Gilda Radner at the very end, which I thought that was beautiful. But I kind of wanted to see the original cast.
Dan Aykroyd wasn't there, right?
I didn't see him. I did see Chevy Chase's tall ass in the back, though, so I know he was there.
Yeah, because I knew Chevy Chase because he was.
Murray killed it when he was doing the ranking of the
first because
weekend special update. He was going through each one of them. The fair was like my favorite black weekend update host.
Number one by default, Michael Che. And he's like, and now to the regular weekend.
The regular.
He's like, regular what?
Yeah, Dennis Miller wasn't there, but he did rank Dennis Miller as one of the best weekend hosts. And of course, Norm Macdonald, who killed it.
Yeah.
Norm was one of the greatest, man.
He really was. It was a shame they fired him for something. Ugh, just because that guy.
The OJ joke. Yeah, I remember that.
Stupid. Yeah, when you look back and you're like,
I mean, if you think about it, look how many people have been fired and had a successful career. Adam Sandler got fired. Dana Carvey got fired. A lot of these guys ended up getting fired, and they've had a huge career since then. Unfortunately, Norm never really took off. But God, I miss that guy. The guy was hilarious.
He was so funny.
Aykroyd was busy, far from New York, and couldn't make it. I heard. Oh man.
Yeah, I know.
Always be king. It's great, man. I will say my favorite skit. It wasn't even a skit. It was let's look at some clips that we probably shouldn't have made fun of. And so it's going through like racism, sexism, like all these things you can't.
I was like,
oh my God, Canteen Boy. Like, it's weird, right? Because now it's like, you can't make fun of that stuff. You can't laugh at that stuff. Like, but I remember, I was in high school when Canteen Boy came out, and we were laughing our asses off at Alec Baldwin going, Canteen Boy, why don't we just take our shirts off? Canteen Boy, which is Adam Sandler, of course, playing a character. Like, I can't imagine that coming out today, right? Like, people would get me like, this is no laughing matter. Like,
yes.
And oh man, they had to blur out
all the ethnic makeup and wig. I was like, yeah.
Like, that's so weird because we laughed at that stuff, and that was the best part.
Did anyone laugh at Mike Myers in the bathtub with Macaulay Culkin? Because I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that was an old skit too. Like, I'm sure that got some laughs. I mean, because there was a whole joke anyway about Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson. But anyway, my point was, it's so weird that they blurred out all these people.
Well, those people probably didn't want
because the best part was they mentioned And what's wrong with you all for laughing at those jokes
Yeah,
back
but you
then?
laughed at them, so shouldn't you be the
So
one?
you all are just as guilty. Which I
Yeah.
guess is true, which is weird to think about comedy that way, that you're guilty of laughing for something that was supposed to be comical. I don't know. But I think that was my favorite part.
Yes. It was
Kid tweet. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Right? Like
Exactly.
a joke. Like a joke will get you
Yeah.
fired. I know that Tiffany Haddish and I can't remember the other guy's name. This comedian there, they got in trouble for having a skit in the Not So Funny, Not Funny or Die. What's his name? Will Ferrell's.
Yeah, Will Ferrell's Not Funny or Die.
Yeah. Seriously, like it's weird. Like like making fun of fat people, making fun. Yeah, it's weird that
they also had that on there because they like Dan Aykroyd in that big fat suit with the big booty. They had that on there. And the pratfall one, that little montage was pretty cute. They brought Molly Shannon out. The one where the physical comedy, and I didn't realize that Chevy Chase fell so much. And I was like, oh yeah, but that's like,
well, that's what he was known for.
Yeah,
like he was known for falling. What was the president? Oh my gosh, what was the president that he played that he would just fall over?
Gerald Ford, right?
Yeah, he would just fall over. I mean, that's what Chase did, right?
Yeah, so that was cute. What else did the Debbie Downer sketch? The only Debbie Downer sketch I've ever actually liked was the one that a lot of people I think probably know with Lindsay Lohan. They're at Disney World. Jimmy Fallon breaks in it, and that's why it's funny. And
was he there? Was Fallon there? Again,
he was. He came. He did the sketch, the Debbie Downer sketch I'm talking about. He did that one with Robert De Niro. That was okay. But I did like that she made a callback to the same sketch I'm talking about when she's like, I can't have children. Jimmy, I told you that once. And then she did in that skit many, many years ago.
Wow, look at you bringing it.
It's
like Johnny Lawrence bringing
all
it back
over full circle.
But
and then
I like the De Niro of all people.
I know that. Oh, Meryl Streep I never knew that she's never hosted SNL before.
No, she's never hosted
coming
SNL.
in as Kate McKinnon's mom. The alien sketch again. Always a weird one, but McKinnon, it's only because Kate McKinnon can pull that character off so well.
Character is so creepy.
So weird. It works. Her bush, like talking about her bush and like how the aliens, and she kept hitting Pedro Pascal. And he's like, I know he's like, God, do not like, don't.
Yeah, I'm surprised a lot more people didn't break character.
Yeah, but that was pretty good. But my favorite, it was weird. The Scared Straight. I don't ever like those sketches. But because of Eddie Murphy's All the Way Home, and then Will Ferrell comes out and in the summer, he's like, no one's wearing their summer uniform.
I think both of them were cracking each other up at that skit.
Yes.
My
name's Big Red. Why? Because your hair red? No, because I'm well read. I was like, what?
Oh man. It was a nice trip down memory lane, that's for sure. Like
it made me miss a lot of the previous cast members. It really
did. I don't even know. I mean, outside of the guy that I never found funny for some reason, he's on Saturday Night Live. Keenan, what's his name?
Keenan Thompson.
I've never liked that guy. Like I thought he was just like ever since he was like a kid, and what was he on? All That. He was on Good Burger, and then he was in
Mighty Ducks 2. He played the kid who could do the knuckle punch.
Okay, yeah, he was in Mighty Ducks 2, apparently. I've never seen 1, 2, or 3, or the TV show. But who else they got? That Domingo kid, that guy. And,
I like myself. He needs to be more, but they need to find more to do with him.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you who else is on Saturday Night Live anymore.
Mikey Day, who's been on it for a while now.
Pete Davidson still in Saturday Night Live?
No, he's been gone for a while. And they all say the same thing, like, and that's why another funny thing, the IBS song from Lonely Island about how they all have like the nervous shits because that they they all talk about it. Like people said that's why Bill Hader didn't show up because he had come out and talked about how like anxious, like how much anxiety he had during the show. I was like, no, I think he was just busy. Because he did a car commercial as one of the Californian characters. So I think he still respects SNL. I think he just couldn't attend. But it would have been cool to see Stefan again or any one of his many weird characters that he played in that time of SNL because that was one of my favorite times of SNL. Yeah, it was interesting to see all the new and old kind of like come together. Wish they had a little bit more of the older ones though. That would have been cool.
Me too. I wish I had seen some more of the. Was Kevin Neal in there?
No, I don't think he was either. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of the cast member Victoria Jackson wasn't there, or at least
Have they ever called Chevy Chase Connie before? Because that just really.
I mean, that's his name, right? And I know that. I mean, him and Murray hated each other. I mean, they almost got into a fist fight. It was on what was it? Howard Stern. They both talked about that, like how Belushi was just egging them on too, man. Because Chevy thought he was bigger than what he was
known for. Anglo, the one I always know Keenan is ooh what's up with that? What's up with that? What's up? No, that's
who's this? Yeah. Who's this?
Kenan Thompson, like characters that I know him for. That character, I don't know who he's supposed to be. Is it Lionel? No, he's not. I don't know.
Yeah, what that is.
And it's Al Sharpton. I know that when he plays Al Sharpton.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice to see a lot of familiar faces and everybody looking older. And it's weird because you can always tell how much older people are looking when they're playing a character they were playing 20 or something years ago, right? Yeah, and it happens to all of us. We all get older. I'm just saying it's just weird. Like you expect people to stay and look the same, and yeah, we don't, right? But it was fun. It was nice. I'm glad that you told me it was coming out on Sunday and I got to watch some of it live.
Yeah, I was happy about it. I mean, it's always fun to revisit it. But I never know how Lorne feels about it because every time they show him, he always looks like his mouth's in a straight line.
Lorne Michaels, yeah.
Are you happy to be here? So, like it's your baby. Like
when Adam Sandler was singing this, I don't know why the hell I just did that. When he was singing the song, he goes through the years that we had like Chris Farley and Norm Macdonald and everybody else, right? Why did he say Lorne for 45? Was he not on for 5 years?
He was not on for all 50. No, he was let go, and those they call them the bad years. I want to say it was in the 80s.
What? That's when I watched SNL. Oh man, what year was that? When Julia?
Double check.
Yeah, double check that. I want to know because I wonder if that's the era. There was a bad era of the 80s.
Okay, it was 80 to 85. That's when he was. So he was 75 to 80, and then.
Wow, he was on there for 5 years. He got fired.
Burnout. No, he left because it was burnout.
Oh, so he left. Okay.
Yeah, but he left for 5 years. Yeah.
80. That must have. 80 was like. That was huge, though, right? Like that was Murphy. Murphy was 80.
Yeah, there was the Murphy Piscopo. Yeah.
Maybe Joe. I think around that time was Joe Piscopo.
Ebersol took over. Yeah, the big question is when he now when he decides to retire, who takes the helm? Like who is going to be leading
Drew Carey.
Oh no, he already has the prices right. He's too busy.
Yeah,
it would be cool if it was Tina Fey or someone like that. I'd be interested to see
a woman in charge.
Then give it to Colin Jost.
I was
the writers anyways right now. I think
channeling the outdated skits. Oh man,
it was good.
All right, what's left?
That's all I have. I mean,
that's all you got? That's all you want to talk about?
I've been rewatching those SNL skits, and I watched Cobra Kai twice. So Spider-Man I did not, but I did. I've watched these skits several times, and I've watched Cobra Kai twice now.
Okay.
Should we rate it?
You want me to rate the SNL
50 skit, the 50th anniversary special?
Not enough old faces for me, but nice. It was a nice trip down memory lane. I'm gonna go with 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was fun. I liked a lot of it. I think the good outweighed the bad. 7.5 out of 10.
That's fair. I was gonna give it 7 out of 10. So
that is a family movie. We're actually watching that. I think Friday. The girls and I. What's happening next week? Next week, Amanda's out of town. Are you You hosting this Saturday with me? 7.5 for me too, carried by Murphy. Murphy was great.
This Saturday?
Yeah, you said you were like, hey, if you need a co-host, let me know. I'm going to be in Arizona. Or was it next Saturday? I can't remember.
Well, no, next Saturday you do need me, don't you?
Yeah, what's next Saturday? What's going on next Saturday? Oh, it's it's this Saturday. It's the Honors Band. And you were like, yeah, I'll be in whatever.
Arizona, which I will be in Arizona, yes.
Yeah.
I might be, because what time is it? It'll be 11 here, so it'll be 9 there. And I should be up.
Yeah, because you were like, I'm barricading, whatever the hell that means.
That's the day before.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 7.5. Well, we can talk about that later. All right.
But yeah, we will have a show next week because I will be in Denver for
Yes, no show next week. But
yeah,
I'll have a live show on Thursday.
So make sure you see Omar in his live show.
Yeah, and then I'll be out of town that weekend when I do need you. I will be.
That is the weekend. Yes, right, because I come back. Yes, and then we start Omar. Oh God.
A manly camping is what I'm doing. Barricading. That's a groupie thing. These girls lock arms and they become one big barricade, so no other woman can come through.
Yes, getting to the front and staying there until your band comes on.
They wear adult diapers. They make a pinky promise not to tell anyone that they wear adult diapers. To stay
I don't wear adult diapers, but yeah, it just means because Fall Out Boy is the headliner, it means you got to wait the entire day. So
good luck with the Denver airport. I used to love that.
I've been there so many times now. I know that place like the back of my hand because that's where our corporate headquarters are. So I go there quite a bit.
They changed it up in the last few years. It's not
they've been doing a lot of renovations to it. Yeah, it's kind of was a nightmare.
It used to be the secret airport of the Illuminati.
Definitely is.
Entire day. That's right. Don't forget your Depends.
Yes, 12 o'clock. Well, I'll get there early to line up before the doors open. So probably like 7 or 8 in the morning. They opened the doors around probably like 12. First show's at 12:30. So then they come on at 8:45. So.
All right. Thank you so much for the.
All wanted to know. The next day, I'm not going to do that. Next day, I'm just going to hang out, get merch, and watch the Killers and Boys to Men. So it'll be a good time. So.
Boys to Men? All of them? They're all going to be there?
I think so. Yeah.
Motown Phillies. All right. You should love that song because you're from Philly. Anything else today, Amanda?
No, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we're going to follow us on all of our social media channels at nearmintcon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop for some great Near Mint merchandise, and also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or for hearing what we do and get some really cool perks along the way. And last but not least, if it's classic, it must be Near Mint. I didn't know it was going to have a backing track this whole time. Good journey to long life.
Got me thinking Voices of Men, man.
Feel it. Chase it.
Bye, everybody. Have a great evening.